Hi everyone, this is Julie Mendez from JSM Career Coaching and Career Coach on the Go. And this tip in this video is for all of you guys out there that might have, joined this working from home and educating your kids from home world during this coronavirus crisis. So I wanted to give you some tips about working from home, working with kids from home, working while your kids from home, actually getting work done, getting the education part done, and all of that. Now, what is all of this about? First of all, I have actually been home educating, aka homeschooling my kids for the past 9 years while working from home. I know many of you don't know that because I've really kind of kept it under wraps and not talked about it a whole lot outside of my personal network. However, yeah, I've been doing it and it's quite possible. So even if this is a temporary situation for you guys, I wanted to let you know, number one, it's absolutely doable. You can work from home, you can homeschool or educate from home, and you can get both done. Now, it might look absolutely insane and crazy, but it does get done. It's easy to do. Now, first of all, just a kind of couple things. I wanted to kind of give you a quick kind of legal definition of what homeschooling is versus school at home. Okay, there are specific laws in each state, there are specific rules in each state that govern what homeschooling is and what homeschoolers must accomplish each year, what they must turn in, if they need to do standardized testing, what they need to graduate, you name it. Hours at school, days at school, all of that sort of thing. That varies by state. But for those of you that your schools have closed and your kids have come home and they're still technically under the auspices of your local public school or whatever it might be, that's legally not homeschooling. Okay. Now, does it make a difference to me? Do I really care about what this is for you? No. You're all welcome. We love you in this world. We're going to help you through it. But it's legally not homeschooling. So I don't want you to have to stress about how do I homeschool my kids, because technically you're still under the auspices of your public school until you actually withdraw them from the school. So step number one for you is going to be to go to your public school, to the teachers, the superintendent, the school board, whatever, whoever's putting out this information, and find out exactly what they're offering and what they want your kid to accomplish each day, each week, and so on. For some of you, it's going to be super relaxed, and they're like, we're just taking a 2-week break. Do whatever you want. Enjoy. Have an extra long spring break. Some of you aren't going to have a lot of requirements, especially as the kids are younger. Some of them might have recorded videos that you can go on a private website and just watch. So it's like a recorded course. Some of you are going to have, your kids are going to be in live courses through some sort of, website, Zoom or something. And, so everyone will be kind of in the video chats and so on. So, and other teachers might just be sending home daily assignments via email. So step number one is you just kind of want to figure out what your school system is offering you and what they're setting up. So if certain things are at time segments, like your oldest kid is going to be in English class online through a video chat, 3 days a week at 9 a.m., then you kind of want to make sure you schedule around that. Especially the first session, you're probably going to want to start 20, 30 minutes in advance. Make sure you have your technology set up, you have their computer set up, all of that kind of good stuff done, so they're not wasting time with technical issues, just like we would in a video interview, by the way. And just kind of make sure that's set up. You may want to kind of sit to the side for the first session, just so you have an idea of what's going on, but also in case there is a technical malfunction in the middle, so you can help them out. So, start off, you might want to be close by. But, for anything timed, obviously book or everything around that. So, you can be available if needed, and make sure they're scheduled for that and they don't accidentally miss English because they weren't paying attention. Otherwise, you want to look and see what they're required to kind of accomplish each day or each week. And, that's your primary focus in home educating your kid or doing public school from home, is just get their assignments done. whether that's from a checklist or however you like to organize it in your home, feel free to do so. Now, my kids are coming under the homeschooling auspices and legal auspices, so how I do it may look very different. And how everyone else does it might look very different than what you're going through. So just know that we all know that this is a little insane, a little crazy, and a little chaotic right now. We all know that. I also want to mention that we do want to be very careful right now because this is a highly stressful situation for everyone. We as adults know that. But your kids, especially the younger they get, they're going to be highly affected by your stress levels and your emotion and how you're handling it. They're watching that. So we want to kind of maybe role model the best way to handle stress for your kids. I mean, that is a life lesson. That's learning if there's anything. And we want this to be that funny story they tell 20 years from now. Hey, do you remember when we got stuck at home for a month because of like that silly virus going around? Oh my gosh, do you remember what we did? We did this. We want to turn it into that for them. We want to turn it into that funny memory, even if it's really stressful for us as parents right now. So I would say you want to be open and honest and communicate with your kids, but we also want to exude calm and, hey, we've got this, we're going to take care of this. We want to kind of just exude that, this is how we're going to emotionally be calm and we're just going to work our way through it kind of manner. And that is literally for your kids because they're going to pick up on that anxiety. They're going to pick up on all the stress that's going on right now. And none of us as parents want to deal with that. So we don't want that for our kids. So we just want to, be very conscious of how we're talking about this and dealing with this in front of your kids. So once you get past the, what your school requires, there are so many links out there of free resources, museums giving free 360-degree tours, orchestras who are doing their symphonic concerts virtually over websites. There's a lot of education resources out there. You can frankly just go on Facebook or Google it. It's a plethora of information. So the videos that I'm going to be sharing really have nothing to do with the rest of the educating side. Okay, most of that is obvious and you can find that on your own, and frankly other people do it better than I can. But one of the things I've seen is that people really aren't focusing on the work side of the equation and how do you get work done with kids in the house. So my upcoming videos are going to talk about how do you set up a workspace from working from home, even if it's temporary. What are kind of things you're going to need to think about when you're setting up your work from home space? And also, how do you structure a routine? How do you work from home and kind of educate your kids? And how do you literally do that and schedule your routine? So my upcoming videos are going to cover those two things. And we're also going to talk, future about, kind of also the stress of this and some coping mechanisms. Even, frankly, we might want to consider, how do we kind of diversify our income? I know that's kind of a weird way to think about it, but my husband is a federal government employee, and, we've had government shutdowns several times in the past few years. And the first time that happened, it was extremely stressful for us because we just had no idea. And I think it went on for 3 or 4 weeks. We were starting to get a little stressed about that. And I was homeschooling and we're working from home and all of this craziness. And we travel, we move a lot for my husband's job. So I'm kind of used to the insanity on that side. But really that first government shutdown that lasted for 3 or 4 weeks, many years ago now, really made me realize how important it was that we had multiple streams of income coming in the house. It wasn't just my job. It wasn't just his job. But if something happened, we wanted to kind of have multiple options. In case something happened, worst case scenario, to one of us or to the other one of us, we didn't want life to be so terrible. We wanted to kind of set things up so it could be as least stressful as possible. And so we started to look into diversifying our income. whether that be having an income rental property, which we've done, and we've looked into kind of extra gigs on the side and things like that. Even with my own coaching business, I've always kind of thought that I wanted to have multiple streams of income coming in with my coaching business. So should something crisis-wise happen, and let's say I lose my voice and can't talk for 3 months, all of a sudden I can't do coaching calls and my income just goes nil. So we want to have different options coming in. So, really kind of this may be a really good time as a family or as a couple to sit down and think, are there different things we can, maybe I should start a side business or a side gig that can be bringing in I can be building up on the side, learning extra modes of, new skills and kind of practicing those skills on the side with some gig clients over here that I individually bring into my long-term career, or just to have some extra money, kind of revenue streams coming in. So if that is you and this kind of moves you into that path, I just wanted to throw that out there because it might be a good time to think about what could be that side gig. And if you want some kind of solo entrepreneurial coaching about the side gig option, please let me know. In the meantime, we're going to talk about how to set up your home office, even if it's a temporary situation, and also how do you structure your work routine and the home educating routine when you need to do both at the same time, and then kind of how do you set up your day. So we'll talk about all the different ways I've done that and other things I've heard as well.